Fight Mike here. Today I'm going to do my full card predictions and breakdown for UFC 322 taking place over the weekend, headlined by Della, Maddalena, and Islam Makhachev. It's a fantastic card at Maddison Square Garden, the Mecca. And I'm going to be doing the full card predictions in this video, starting off with the early prelim opener. We got Vyacheslav Borshev versus Mateusz Camilo. Look, Borshev's been in the UFC for a while now. We all know his game. He's very good at dragging you into a war if you're a striker. But if you go out there and grapple him, you're going to finish him in the first or second round by a submission. I think Mateusz Camilo is going to be able to get it done by a submission. I don't like that Tom Nolan wasn't able to finish Borshev, just because guys like Terrence McKinney finished him in like 30 seconds. And Tom Nolan's quite good. So maybe Mateusz Camilo has to drag it to a decision, but I think Camilo's smart enough to just go for the takedown early on Borshev. Borshev's a bad grappler. That's it. He's got submitted a handful of times in his career. He tries to drag his opponents into wars. I don't think Mateusz Camilo is going to fall for it. He's been in the UFC for so long and he's never fixed his hole in the grappling. So I think every opponent that Borshev comes up against is waiting for the takedown. And I think Camilo is going to struggle early, maybe go for a ground and pound TKO early in the first round. And then maybe second round goes for the same thing. I could see Borshev giving up the back, having Mateusz Camilo raining ground and pound shots on him, and I could see Borshev lifting up the neck and tapping to a rear naked choke in round 2. Moving on to the next one, we've got Baisangur Sursatkayev versus Eric McConaughey. Look, I tell you what, I have actually been chanting Baisangur, Baisangur, Baisangur since his last fight. I know no one else in the arena was chanting it, but if he gives it a try this time, I'm with him in it. And I think he will probably try it. Sursatkaev's going to win this by a round 1 submission. Look, Eric McConaughey, he's all right. He got a win over Cody Brundage last time out. Cody Brundage, I thought, even won that fight, and it was such a close fight. And it's Cody Brundage, so bad look for Eric McConaughey. At one point, he was a prospect. Now he's a little bit... We kind of know what we're getting from Eric McConaughey. He's pretty good on the feet. He's decent with the wrestling. Just an all-round, quite average guy. And Baisangur is a great prospect. In the Eric Nolan fight, he definitely got shown that he needs some areas to improve. He was sort of like emoting on Eric Nolan, trying to make it, like, draw him out for big reactions. And Nolan actually rocked him at the end of the first round. But once Baisangur Sursatkayev started getting his leg kicks going, started going for the takedowns, it was all over for Eric Nolan. I think the game plan that he had in round 2 against Eric Nolan is what he's going to start off with against Eric McConaughey. I think McConaughey's really bad in the wrestling when someone's able to push the pace on him heavily, and I think Sursatkayev early is going to stick at range, wait for McConaughey to overthrow a shot, get the takedown, get the submission early. Weird to start off the card with 2 submissions, but I think that's how it's going to go down. Moving on to the next one, we've got Angela Hill versus Fatima Klein. I'm going to go with Fatima Klein by decision. I think most people are here. I can see a finish for Fatima Klein as well, but she is looking dangerous, but I just don't think it's likely that a WMMA fighter will get 3 finishes in a row. She's coming off 2, I think. But she's a very good fighter. She's a lot more tricky than a lot of the people that get fraud checked by Angela Hill. She's very, very technical. She's got a decent amount of power. She's coming off a good win over Melissa Martinez, who granted isn't the best fighter ever, but she's also got a win over Victoria Dudikova, and her only loss in the UFC, or loss in general, is to Jasmine Jasudavicius, who is a very good fighter herself, even if she did just get finished by Manon. I think that this is a very good fight for Klein. I don't think that there's a lot of layers to Angela Hill's game. I think Klein's going to put her in danger. I could see her dropping her in the first round, but I think Angela Hill's going to be able to crafty it up and make it a 29-28 decision, because people who lose to Angela Hill have like a glaring weakness. It's like the wrestling where Angela Hill can dominate you, but Fatima doesn't seem to have that sort of deficiency in her game. Moving on to the next one, we've got Pat Sabatini versus Shepe Mariscal. Gonna go with Shepe by decision. This is actually a rematch where Shepe won the first one in a very close decision. It was pretty hard fight for Pat Sabatini, the first one, where he was like panic shooting takedowns. He didn't look very good out there. And even in a rematch, I think that this is a hard fight for Pat. From my understanding, I think that Shepe is an underdog in this one. And for Pat Sabatini, a guy who relies on the grappling and the control, I don't know why why Shepe is the underdog in this one. I get that he got taken down by Morgan Charrier. I get it. I think that one was on like a couple of weeks' notice. I don't think that was a full training camp. And even then, even if he does get taken down by Morgan Charrier, it's a different matchup with Pat Sabatini, because the thing is with Sabatini is he needs those takedowns. If he doesn't get those takedowns, he loses the fight. And Shepe's a grinder. He's very difficult to control. He's got a granite chin. He's got absolutely unlimited will to win. And he's riding a 5-fight winning streak, and he's not been beaten in the UFC. So Shepe's not going to be the type of guy that after a couple of takedowns, he's going to get broken and he's going to be sitting in half guard throwing rabbit punches. I just punched my monitor. But throwing rabbit punches at Pat Sabatini whilst Pat's locking him down in half guard going for an arm triangle. That's not who Shepe Mariscal is. And Shepe is very tough to deal with. I don't know of any featherweights that I would handedly pick to just smoke him in the first round. He is very good, and I think if we're going on technique for technique in the wrestling, I'd give a slight edge to Sabatini, not much. But then everywhere else in the fight, the clinch, the kicks, the striking, the boxing, the range, everything you could give me, I pick Shepe in that. And I'm not going to pick Sabatini to be able to control or finish Shepe. Shepe's fought a lot of good guys on the regional scene. He fought guys like Joe Anderson Brito, fought Pat Sabatini, fought Bryce Mitchell as well. He's got a lot of names on his regional career. He's he's almost like a grizzled vet at a very young age. So Shepe is going to be able to win this one. I think he's going to outdamage him to a 30-27 decision win. Good underdog win for Shepe. I don't care that he got taken down by Morgan Charrier. That doesn't mean that Sabatini is going to dominate you. Moving on to the next one, we've got Malcolm Wellmaker. Not Malcolm Wellmaker. We got Kyle Dorcas versus GM3, Gerald Mearshart. I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'm going to go with Dorcas by a TKO. GM3 got KO'd literally 3 months ago against Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, who's a dangerous power puncher. But he's quite similar to Kyle Dorcas, maybe without the grappling credentials. And Dorcas smoked Michel Pereira, who beat Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, if I'm remembering correctly. But this is never going to be a GM3 fight. I wish it was. He's coming up against his toughest stylistic matchup. Kyle Dorcas is very strong. He's tall, he's well-rounded and powerful, and he's too tough and too gritty and too experienced for GM3 to get crafty on and get that third-round submission. GM3 needs it, and the thing is, I see Kyle Dorcas finishing him in under a minute. I think it's going to go out there. GM3 is going to get kicked, hit, punched. He's going to come in, go for a takedown, get the takedown stuffed. I honestly think this is a time where we're going to see GM3 get the takedown stuffed and roll to that back, and Kyle Dorcas is going to ground and pound TKO him to a finish. I know we all love GM3. I love GM3. I love looking at that mustache, but his time has come. His time has come, and Kyle Dorcas is going to be the guy to make it. Now, moving on to the next one, we've got Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cody Haddon. I am so excited for this, but going to go with Wellmaker by TKO. I want to pick Haddon. He's the bantamweight JDM. Because although Wellmaker looks fantastic and he's finishing 3 guys in a row with a right hook, he doesn't have good wins. I don't rate the win over Chris Moutinho. I don't rate the Cameron Simon win. And as a prospect, I think Cody Haddon's a fantastic fighter. He's not just saying that because he's from Australia. He's got that high and tight JDM style. Leads in with some good hooks to the body. And as a prospect, Haddon's really good. I just would have liked more activity if I was going to pick him over Malcolm Wellmaker. I think he's got one win in the UFC, which is the Dan Argueta win. And then he's got a win on the Dana White's Contender Series. But Cody Haddon hasn't fought this year. I can't trust him to be sharp and in shape and at the best version of himself if he hasn't fought this year. And Wellmaker's coming off the same thing. I'm having a seizure, but Wellmaker's coming off the same thing. He's getting these right hook KOs like he's just having another day in the office. He's setting them up perfectly. And Cody Haddon's a guy who likes to double up, go with the body hook and the left hook over the top. He'll go lead hook, body hook straight after, and then straight. He's going for these combinations where it is leaving his rear hand clear for a beautiful right hook to just cleaver him, or leave it, like, either way he's throwing his punches. He's always throwing in combination, and he does a lot of same side combinations. And I think Wellmaker's going to chin him when he gets into like the second or third round with one of those right hook. Actually, I'm going to say left hook KO, as Cody Haddon goes for his own left hook to the body, just gets cleaved and shut off. I think it's going to be a vicious KO. Sadly as well, I think Cody Haddon's a very good fighter. He's defensively responsible, but I can see Malcolm Wellmaker drawing him into a coiled left hook and just smoking him. I hope it doesn't happen, though. I want Cody Haddon to win. Moving on to the next one, we've got Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. I'm going to go with Blanchfield by a decision. This is a very straightforward pick to me. I don't care if Cortez won the fight in their first fight. Tracy's got good boxing and decent wrestling and grappling. Blanchfield's got good-ish boxing and great grappling, and she takes it more seriously than Cortez. That's all it comes down to. Cortez wearing those fake eyelashes that are in the photo are going to be still on when she's in the octagon, taking away at least 40% of her reach. And Cortez didn't even know who Mackhachev is. Come on. She pretended that she didn't even know that Mackhachev was on the card, and she didn't know who he was. And if you're doing that, you're taking your career so unseriously. So I'm going to pick Blanchfield by a decision or submission. Moving on to the next one, we've got Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodriguez. Honestly, I don't even know who's going to win this one. Like, I know I was telling you I've got a full card predictions and breakdown. I don't even know what I'm picking. Like, this is such a hard fight for me. I'm not even fence-sitting JDM versus Islam this bad. This has been the fight that I've been fence-sitting since the fight announcement as well. Because I just don't know. If I'm going off the Gregory Rodriguez that fought Cannonier and the Kopylov that fought Costa, I'm picking... the Kopylov that fought Chris Curtis. I'm picking Kopylov every day of the week. Every single day. If this is the guy that's coming off getting chinned by Jared Cannonier by like a weak elbow in round 3 after almost killing him, I'm picking Kopylov. But watching him get like bullied by Costa, I'm not just talking about Costa being like a couple of strikes ahead. He was getting bullied by Costa. Costa was coming forward with that granite chin, going vintage Costa on him, throwing good shots to the body, throwing lots of body kicks as well, leg kicks, just hitting Kopylov as hard as he could possibly throw. And Kopylov just got bullied by Costa, and he's coming up against another bully, yet again another big Brazilian bully, even bigger than Costa. But the one difference I will say is when Costa did it, a lot of it was kicks. A lot of it was kicks to the body and legs, and Robocop's not doing that. Robocop doesn't kick that much at all. And when he does, it's quite ineffective and leaves him very open. And I think he has a lot more power than Paulo Costa, especially with the hands. He doesn't have the same granite chin as Paulo, and that's part of the reason he was able to walk through Roman Kopylov. Because Kopylov, if you rewatch that fight, I'm not saying by any means he did well at all. He did terribly. He looked awful out there. He looked like he was a victim out there. But one thing he did do was he was catching Costa sometimes in the middle of combinations. And Costa does have a granite chin, unless you're Israel Adesanya and you've got gyno the size of a cricket ball, you're not getting slept. Like, Costa's not getting slept out cold. That's not happened to Costa. But Gregory Rodriguez, if you land well on him, he's getting slept out cold. He's probably cutting the most in the middleweight division history. He's huge. Genuinely huge. I don't know why he's not a light heavyweight. But I'm going to have to go with Kopylov. I'm not going to say... I was thinking KO up until now. I was thinking KO if I was going to pick Kopylov. But I'm actually going to go decision. I think maybe in round 1, Robocop's going to go out hard. But I can just see late round 1, Kopylov looking terrible early, looking like a victim early. But I can see him catching him with like a straight right hand as RoboCop closes distance and just dropping RoboCop really badly. I don't think he finishes him. I think RoboCop gets the takedown or something like that, works back up to his feet or something like that. And then rounds 2 and 3, maybe winning a round with the grappling, but then losing another round due to the activity of Roman Kopylov. And I think Kopylov's going to out-tit for tat him to a decision, which is wild. I never pick these. Usually when there's two guys that I could see getting a finish, I open up the fight by saying, oh, if these guys are in the octagon together, someone's getting a finish here. Someone's getting a finish. I say that with like Sergey Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I'm like, look, I know Sergey looked real bad against, I can't even remember, Rosenstruck, but like, you know, I think someone's going to get slept out cold this fight. I say that every single time two powerhouses are in the fight, and it's happening no more. One of these guys is not getting slept out cold. I'm going to be finally saying that. Now, moving on to the next one, we've got the headliner of the prelims. We got Bo Nickel versus Rodolfo Vieira. I'm going to go with Bo Nickel by TKO. I was considering a Rodolfo Vieira pick. And if you do go with him, I would recommend a sub pick just because he might be able to show levels in the grappling to Bo Nickel. But on the feet, Vieira's all right. He's all right. He can win a decision here against Bo, but he's got nothing in terms of power. I don't see him hurting Bo Nickel at all. He's got no nasty shots. Even a good leg kick here would work wonders. But I just see a terrible striking match until an eventual round 2 Bo Nickel KO early in round 2. I can see Bo Nickel going, like, I can't even see him shooting a takedown. I really think we're going to get another Paul Craig Bo Nickel performance, but he sleeps Rodolfo Vieira and people get back on the hype train. Bo Nickel's like talking about how good he is, how he beats Hamzat again, but then it's like, bro, you didn't even wrestle. You're never wrestling, but we'll see. I think Bo Nickel's going to get it done by round 2 TKO, though. Moving on to the next one, we've got Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis. I'm going with Benoit. I know you're not supposed to pick Benoit unless he's fighting someone who cannot grapple. But I have to go with him by TKO. I think he flatlines Dariush in the first round. Dariush's time is over. If you couldn't see that from the Moicano fight, I don't know what you're going to see that from. The Moicano fight was like the most uninspiring performance I've ever seen in my life. It felt like Moicano lost the fight, not Dariush did win the fight. Because Dariush out there looked so slow. It looks like he was just throwing body kick. Jab 2 minutes later, body kick. Takedown attempt and hold. I just don't think on the feet that Benoit is going to allow him to do that. Moicano is good on the ground. He's better than BSD on the ground. We've seen that. And Dariush was able to out-grapple him. But on the feet, Benoit was kind of but Benoit was staying on the feet against Renato Moicano with literally one eye. Moicano's striking's not all that. It really is not all that. And Benoit's isn't either. I think Benoit's striking's atrocious. I hate picking him here because I do think his striking's really bad. But I think he's going to win the rear kick spam at slow-mo. And he's going to win when they trade in the pocket. And I doubt that Dariush is going to have that Gamrot moment where he hits him with like the loudest punch of UFC history. And Benoit Saint Denis, I think he's not even going to get enough time to show his takedown defense, which I'm sure has gotten better with the team change to Imavov's team. I think to beat an old Dariush, all he needs is to land a good shot early. I'm actually going to say he lands like a short right hook in the clinch or something in the first 4 minutes of the round in round 1, sleeping Dariush out cold. Maybe an early stoppage, actually. I could very much see an early stoppage. Moving on to the next fight, we've got Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. Gonna go with Prates by TKO. I wanted to be the contrarian that picks Leon Edwards because Edwards is severely underrated. I can't think of enough good attributes for Edwards. He's got really good kicks. He's got great footwork, defense, good durability, recovery, striking even. Just striking defense, grappling, counter-striking. He has everything but the X factor. Honestly, he's this type of guy that I make on UFC 5 career. I spend all week trying to make a good fighter on career mode. He's got maxed out stats, but he just doesn't feel that good. That's what Edwards is. It just sucks for him here because I think he's very good. He's got the skills and the tools to beat Carlos Prates. He's got the takedowns themselves. He's got the clinch work, the knees when Prates is coming in, but I just see all the X factor from Prates. I see the flow whilst he's striking. I see the crazy moments, the slickness, the nuclear power. And I think he's going to flatline KO Leon Edwards similarly how he did to Li Jingliang. I think that Edwards is going to get hit with a shot. They're going to be tit-for-tatting on the feet for a little bit. Edwards is going to get hit by a shot. He's going to start backing up real bad. You're going to see him coming up against the cage, sort of scarpering, trying to escape there, looking like Li Jingliang did, trying to scarper really bad. And unlike the Leech, I don't think he throws back with willful intent. I think he's going to get hit with some shot up against the cage, like maybe not the same one as the Leech, just because the Leech sort of got caught with like a very wide hook. I think it was a double hook as well. I think he threw a right hook and then a lead hook and then just chinned the Leech out cold. I think if he's going to do it here, I think it's going to be more of a shovel uppercut coming up between the guard of Leon Edwards, and I think he's going to get flatline KO'd. Edwards can win this, though. He's got very good defense, and he's got really good footwork. He can make him miss like Ian Gary was supposed to, was doing in the Prates-Gary fight. I just don't see him. Moving on to the next one, we've got Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Gonna go with Michael Morales by decision. This was such a hard pick for me. I was Brady up until this week, but Morales, I think, is going to pull it off. He's stylistically the most tricky guy for Sean Brady in the division, and I stand by that. I don't think Ian Gary, even though he's got similar takedown defense tendencies as Michael Morales, I don't think he's as hard of a fight for Sean Brady. I don't think Islam's as hard of a fight for Sean Brady. I think Sean Brady beats Islam. I think stylistically, Islam could beat Michael Morales. It's just one of those things. I think Morales has that style to beat Edwards, to beat Sean Brady. He's so much taller than him. So much. Like, I know height means absolutely nothing in a game of fighting, but he's got good takedown defense, and that range and length, he uses it well. He's going to be able to keep Brady at a distance, and although if Brady is able to get Morales down, I can see him getting control time. I can also see Morales beating up Brady really badly on the feet before that control time happens, and pardon me, my throat's killing me, but I just don't see Sean Brady's Juliana Pena-like boxing on the front foot working at all. I really don't. I think against Edwards it works because he hates getting hit so much. Like, you see Edwards get hit, he's instantly shriveling up, trying to find a way to get back to the center of the octagon and back up. And maybe that works against maybe that didn't work against Sean Brady because even those peppermint patty punches, as the great Lucas Tracy would say, I think that Juliana Pena type boxing it's not going to hurt Morales, and Morales might just eat the shots and return back. And Leon's retarded as well. So of course he's going to engage in the grappling, and of course he's going to do this and that and just make stupid decisions here and there. Of course he's going to do that. So I don't rate that Leon Edwards win that highly. I don't rate the Burns win either. But I think that's why I'm just talking about stylistically. Sean Brady's win over Gilbert Burns it impresses me in the way that he dominated. It doesn't impress me in the opponent. Michael Morales' win doesn't impress me at all. His Neil Magny win, cool, bro. This is a very tough fight to predict. But I think Morales is the next era of welterweights. I think he's got the kicks at range. I think he's got the takedown defense. He's got the boxing as Brady comes in. And Brady got TKO'd by Belal. How can you trust a guy who got TKO'd by Belal? Really? Tell me how. Honestly, during the build-up to this, I'm thinking, Brady's grappling this, the control that. He's going to, once he gets Morales down, he's going to get that finish. But then I'm thinking in the back of my mind, He got finished by Belal. Remember the pillow fist. Belal finished him. So going with Morales by a decision. I don't think he actually gets the finish on Brady. But I think that Brady's going to get busted up real bad. Moving on to the next one, we've got Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. Gonna go with Zhang Weili by a decision. This is probably one of the easier fights for me to predict on the card. Because if I'm looking at it, Valentina's clearly lost a step. She's looking slower. She's resorting to the wrestling. And I'm looking at a much hungrier Zhang Weili. Zhang is going to beat her up. She's got everything to beat Valentina. She's got it in the wrestling. She's got the takedown defense. She's got the takedowns herself. Very strong in the clinch. So Shevchenko is not going to be able to use that size against her. And in the striking, Zhang's going to have the speed, punch power, and athleticism to be able to beat Shevchenko. I think she's going to dominate her as well. 50-45, 49-46 decision. Because Val's not as good as she once was. And even if I'm going prime for prime, I'm picking Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili's prime's right now. Valentina Shevchenko's prime was 5 years ago. Both versions of them, I'm picking Zhang Weili. She's looked so good in her last two fights. So good. I say that, but then I'm remembering points of the Yang Xiaonan fight where she's getting caught. But I actually think Yang Xiaonan's striking is really good. I think it's really, really good for the women's strawweight division, especially, which is a good division for its striking. And I think she's very good. I do think people like Manon Fiorot beat Zhang Weili, but Shevchenko is kind of a small flyweight. So I can see Zhang Weili having some success in the striking. And then when Valentina Shevchenko crashes into the clinch eventually, I can see her getting worked in the clinch with some good knees to the body by Zhang Weili. Zhang will defend the takedowns, make Valentina quite tired off of those takedowns. And I think she's going to win the fight by a dominant decision. Now, let's move on to the main event, the one we've all been waiting for. I've already made a prediction for this one. If you haven't seen it, there's a video on the channel. It's the last video. I posted it yesterday night. And I'm picking JDM in it. I really am going to pick JDM. I've made the video. I will try and cover off different points that were not on the video yesterday. And I'm going to talk about how I actually think the fight's going to go round by round. I think JDM loses those first two rounds. And he's going to be able to bring it back with a 48-47 decision. I am worried, though. I've seen everyone picking JDM. Everyone. On these pay-per-view weeks, I like to watch literally all of the predictions. I usually make them before I watch them, but this week I've been so busy with the new job, couldn't get to it. But this week I've been listening to these whilst I've been driving home. I'm seeing everyone pick. I watched the Anakin Florian podcast. Kenny Florian and the big guy, I can't remember his name. Both of them pick JDM. I haven't seen Bedtime's video. I think he picks JDM. MMA Guru picks JDM. All the fighters that I watched the Brady Bags podcast. I'm pretty sure both of them picked JDM. Trying to think of other guys. Ariel Helwani picked JDM on the Tim Welch podcast. Everyone. I haven't seen people pick Mackhachev. I'm pretty sure that even Brendan Schwab picked JDM in this one. And I am worried. Everyone is picking JDM. And a lot of the times when we see everyone picking a certain guy, but then the odds makers have them as a massive underdog, they don't usually win. So I'm so nervous. I want JDM to win so bad. I want JDM to win more than I want myself to get commission in a sales job. This means so much to me. I want JDM to win. Because as a champ, I don't think anyone should be 3-1 underdog against anyone, apart from Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison, which I know I picked Pena for. Shut up. Don't bring it up. But this is a very tough fight for JDM. Very, very tough fight. And I'm so nervous. In the other video, I was speaking about the physical attributes and the techniques that each guy will struggle with. And I kept bringing up the level change for JDM, how it does kind of give him an opening to get taken down or get Islam to latch up a dast from that position if he's able to get him off balance. But I think in the first two rounds, I think Islam's dominating. I think he's going to be able to keep JDM down. I think he's going to be able to get him on the back, maybe I could see it. I could see an unworthy 10-8. I really can. I could see him getting the back of JDM. You know that picture where JDM's like, he's like, I think it's Gilbert Burns, and he's defending the takedown. Like, he's like doing that. I think we see that in the first round. He's like doing that full like zesty move out where he's like defending the arms. We've all seen that photo. If I was good enough at editing, I'd pull it up right now. But I can see him doing that in the first round. Maybe second round, he's able to actually escape the position. Maybe he's held down in half guard in the second round, is able to get back up, start like a little bit of a cut on Islam's eye. But Islam will definitely win those first 2 rounds. But then round 3, I think it gets to a razor close round where JDM clearly wins on damage, but Mackhachev has some good moments in the grappling, in the clinch. But then round 4 and 5, I think both guys are going to be so tired, and it's going to become a gritty war. If you remember the last like 2 minutes or 3 minutes of the Belal versus JDM fight, where Belal was able to get the takedowns, he was actually landing on JDM at points there, but JDM just started warring with him. He started head outside, body shot, uppercut, hook over the top, separate out, go for some head movement here. Right hand, left hook, body shot, up against the cage, slip the right hand, come back over with one over the top. I think it's going to be that sort of thing. He's going to be round 4 and 5. He's going to be trying to push Islam up against the cage. He's going to get taken down. He's going to be able to land some good shots to the body. And I think that he's going to slowly but surely put a lot of visible damage on Islam Makhachev. And I think as those body shots start to add up, Islam's going to get caught more and more on the face. And he cuts quick and early. JDM's going to be able to beat him by a damage-based decision. Let me know what you think of that in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.